You know who I am?
Anything you say. Anything you say.
It's official.
What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Thomas back again with another rendition of Truth Be Told. Now, this past week, I didn't see anything major going on politically wise or whatever. You know, they're still going through the whole thing of who's going to be running against each other for presidential election coming next year, but we all know it's going to be Trump. And apparently I guess they're pushing for Biden because the Democrats ain't even going to have a debate, so, which is dumb, but whatever. Everybody already knew. So naturally, you know, everybody also knows that they're trying to stop Trump from trying to run because they'll lose, and they know it. The Democrats. But anyways, yeah, I didn't see anything really going on this past week. You might have a little bit of news about, or heard a little bit of news about Zuckerberg or Facebook, Instagram, whatever. You know, he tried to start this new app called Threads, which is even more dangerous than TikTok, because they will literally have all your information, all of it plus more, and they heavily censorship and all this other stuff. And a bunch of lefties, you know, they left Twitter going, oh, we're going to get Threads. It's so much better. Then they found out it's 10 times worse. So they all went right back to Twitter. Go figure. So that didn't last long at all. I see that Disney is like selling a bunch of stuff because they keep losing a bunch of money due to the woke ideology they keep pushing in all their entertainment. It's not going well for them. Plus they're losing in Florida like a motherfucker. So Disney's going down. And the latest thing I saw from Disney, which there's a bunch of YouTubers who just keep on about it, is the whole stupid new Snow White remake. You know, they put a Latino in instead of a German fair-skinned woman, which is literally the character. The second thing they did, which was dumber than shit, because they're listening to fucking that retard Peter, whatever the fuck his name is. You know, the guy from Game of Thrones or whatever. Fucking dumbass motherfucker. Making it harder for everybody else to get jobs that have dwarfism. Anyways, they put like this so-called, if you just have to look up the pictures, the so-called diversity of, they're not even calling them the 7 dwarves. They're calling them the 7 magical people. And they're all different sizes and colors. Well, sorta. 4 of them are black. And then, yeah, I don't know what the others are. They may be white or Latino. Who knows. But they're not even dwarves. They're, half of them are, you know, tall. So it's dumb. It's the dumbest shit. Anyways, that's pretty much most of the crap I've seen this past week. Let's talk about what a television show I just got done finishing up. I just finished watching, the CW version of The Flash. Now, they got a lot of crap on this wrong. One thing they kept doing that really irritated me was they kept mixing and mashing the old with the new, like comic book stories and shit. They kept putting new and old together, mashing it. And it was irritating, it was annoying, because that's not how it goes. This show does not reflect how the actual story in the comics goes. They can't do the original stories. They never can. They always have to fucking do their own version, which is a slap in the face to the people who wrote the original stories. It's ignorant. Anyways, we also know that they race swapped and gender swapped some people in the show. You had the controversy with the whole fucking retarded guy said, the guy who was playing, I think it was Mr. Fantastic or whatever, the stretchy arm dude, or the guy who could stretch or whatever. They completely fucking got all pissy about him fucking telling an old ass joke, from years ago. It's so dumb. There's a bunch of other stuff that was going on in the show. Like, if you don't know, the whole West family are not black. They are white. In the comics, they are white. They are not black. So, you should know that by now. The show's been out for a while. But yeah, just stuff like that. The CW does a lot of woke shit and feminist crap. And they put it in their shows. And normally it doesn't work. Okay, so regardless of all that, I still watched the show because, it was some of the actors on the show, the guy who plays Flash and, the guy who played Reverse Flash or whatever. I liked them. They were decent actors. And even though, they changed, the West characters, I liked the guy who played Joe. His adopted father, he's a decent actor too. The show was okay for about, I would say about till the 5th or 6th season maybe. It was okay. Like, it wasn't like horrible. The fact that he always had to deal with the speedster 90% of the time, just like that was always the main villain for a particular season. I mean, he dealt with other villains, but for the most part, it was always a speedster most of the time. I think the only other major villain he had that wasn't a speedster was, Bloodwork. The rest of them were all the major villains were all speedsters. Like I said, he had other villains to deal with, but they weren't like the main villains, They were, 1 or 2 episodes and then they were done with that villain. I actually like the whole Storm King villain guy. I think they should have done more with him, but they didn't. At first, they were trying to introduce a bunch of characters with powers, and it was a little too much. like they needed to slow down. Like I said, they were mixing old characters with new characters and creating chaos in the show. Some of it worked, some of it didn't. But the whole alternate, him constantly changing timelines and doing the whole alt universe to introduce new characters, sometimes they were really woke. It was starting to get a little redonkulous. And the last 2 seasons, for sure, oh my gosh. Season 8 was terrible. It was not very good at all. And then this last season, I don't know. The whole thing and making what's her face like a goddess Mother Earth was just dumb. It was dumb. It was seriously dumb. I didn't like the guy who joined the team that was a villain. He was like the freeze dude. You know, had freeze packs on his wrist. Ooh, you know, it was a dumb character. The whole time, they did another episode where this chick controls time or some shit. That was dumb. It was such a dumb episode. I don't know. They tried to wrap it up with Colt Blue or Blue Colt or whatever the fuck, and bring that motherfucker back and all the other past villains, and I was, whatever. It was kind of dumb. It was lame. It was a lame ending. After 6 or 7, I would stop watching it. If you're watching this series or you plan on watching it, don't watch the last 2 seasons. They were terrible. God awful. Well, of course, they had to bring Batwoman into the fold and call her, from an alternate universe and call her Red Death. She created a super suit that gave her speed, and I was like, get the fuck out of here with that dumbass shit. It was dumb. Dumb. Terrible. This season was just god awful. Anyways, that's my thoughts on The Flash, CW The Flash. They really fucking butchered the comic stories with this series. But, like I said, some of the actors were okay. And I didn't mind some of the, some of the show for the first few seasons. But after that, it got really dumb. Check it out if you want, but understand there's a lot of woke and feminist shit in this show, so you have to deal with that. Unfortunately, it's like almost in every show anymore that these fuckers do. They can't fucking use the source material. They gotta fucking change everything, and they shit on it all because they make it 10 times worse. They can't write. Hollywood has some of the shittiest writers right now. It's just dumb. Anyways, check it out if you want. I give it a thumbs up, thumbs down. It's okay for a little bit, but after a while it gets pretty dumb. Alright, let's move on to your B movie reviews. Alright, movie holics. This week is Action Week. And I told you before in previous videos, I'm working on these 80s Kung Fu action flicks that was recommended to me. I'm almost done with them. I just have a few more to go after this one. So maybe 1 or 2 more videos, and then back to regular action flicks. So in this one, we're taking a look at some 80s Kung Fu flicks. The first one is called Royal Warriors, and it was done in 1986. It starred, and please forgive me if I get some of these pronounce some of these names wrong. Hiroyuki Sanada, Michael Wong, and of course Michelle Yeoh. Now Michelle Yeoh, or Yeoh, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. She was pretty popular back in the 80s when she first started out in the Kung Fu flicks. She did several of them. Now the story of this movie is basically all 3 of them basically play cops. One is a Japanese cop. One is like some type of marshal, air marshal. And Michelle Yeoh plays a inspector or detective, whichever you want to call it. Anyways, they stop a hijacking on a plane, or basically an assassination. And they end up killing the 2 guys who were trying to committed the crime. Well, there were 2 other guys that were not on the plane, and they want revenge. Now, all 4 of these guys were like, you keep getting flashbacks of them being in some type of war, Asian war. They were in the military together, and they became like good buddies or whatever. So they became like hired mercenaries, assassins or whatever. So at first, one of these guys is trying to kill him, and he keeps failing. He ends up getting killed, and then the last guy, he shows up, and he ends up killing Michelle Yeoh's, I wouldn't even call him a boyfriend, to be honest. This guy was pretty much like a stalker. It was creepy, the way he was constantly on her, begging her for shit and crap. It was weird. It was really creepy. He's all like, I'm in love with her, and he just met her, and all kinds of shit. It's fucked up. If you watch this movie, you'll understand what I'm talking about. It's fucking creepy. Anyways, this guy kills him, and so she decides she's going to get revenge on him. He also, the Japanese dude, he's supposed to be retired. These guys ended up killing his family, or not the 2 guys on the plane, but the first guy, he ends up killing his wife and daughter because he was retiring so he could spend more time with his family. And they were going back to Japan. So he's the one who ends up killing the other guy. But this last guy, he kills Michelle Yeoh's boyfriend or whatever. and then tells the other guy, the Japanese dude, about it as well, and sets up a trap for him at the very end. You have a little bit of a fight scene at the very end, and it was the dumbest shit. The guy, her boyfriend's already dead. He's in a casket, or their friend or whatever. But they got to get the casket out of there. It's like this mining area or some shit. I don't work construction place or some crap. And they got to get the fucking stupid ass fucking was it a coffin that the dead guy's in, their friend. They got to fucking haul it off on this rolling mine cart rail or some shit. I was just like, what the fuck are you doing? The dude's dead. Just get the fuck out of there before the place blows, because the other guy rigged it with explosives. But anyways, whatever. They get out of there, place blows up, the guy dies. In the story, in the movie. It wasn't that bad. I thought it was alright. I thought the story was actually fairly decent. What it was actually about, it wasn't that bad of a story. And the action was okay. It wasn't like super great, but it wasn't bad either. I just thought the whole dude acting like he's her boyfriend and he's stalking her and all kinds of shit, pushing himself on her. It was kind of creepy. It was weird. Other than that, the bad guys weren't even that bad either. They were actually fairly decent. Usually you have some cheesy bad guys in these kung fu flicks, but these guys weren't too bad. I definitely highly recommend it. It's a good movie for a kung fu flick. 2 thumbs up. Alright, moving on to the next one, which was done in 1985, and it was called Heart of the Dragon. Now, of course, this is a Jackie Chan, Sammo Hung movie. Also starred Emily Chu as Jackie's girlfriend or whatever. She's the leading lady in it. Basically, the story is Sammo Hung plays Jackie's younger brother who's mentally handicapped. He's really slow. He gets a lot of trouble throughout the movie, and Jackie's constantly having to bail him out. And Jackie don't want to deal with him anymore. He wants to put him on the burden on somebody else so he can get the fuck away and do what he wants instead of always taking care of his brother. Well, the brother is played by Sammo Hung. He's playing with these little kids, like 10-year-old kids, and he has this fake gun, and he runs across one of these a criminal who had a bunch of stolen jewelry. The guy thought he was robbing him, so he tosses the bag and runs. And Sammo Hung takes the bag, and the little kids tell him he should bury it and blah blah blah. So he does, like an idiot. And then fucking, the older brother, one of the kids, he's taking care of his little brother too. Well, he finds out about it and then fucking, beats the shit out of Sammo Hung and takes it back from him. He tries to pawn off the goods, but the pawn storekeeper, he calls the bad guys, and the bad guys or the crooks, they come and try to they come and grab him and then have him take him to where the rest of the jewelry is or whatever, and then they kill him. They take Sammo Hung hostage. I can't remember exactly why they take Sammo Hung hostage, but they take him hostage for some reason. I think, there's a guy that turned on him, at the the guy that thought Sammo Hung was robbing him. He turned on him. So they want him, and he's in police custody. So they want him. So they use Sammo Hung as leverage to get Jackie, who's a cop, by the way, to go into the police witness safe house to get the guy and bring him to him, which he does. And then you have this big fight scene at the end, and then Jackie has to do some time before he gets out to be with his brother again. And that's the end of the movie. Now, in the movie, Jackie has a few SWAT buddies, other cops that are like his buddies, but they were in SWAT. He transferred to be an inspector on a regular police force, but they help him out towards the end to get his brother back, and they help take care of his brother while he's in jail. They all had to do some time, but all the others got out before Jackie did. Now, plus his girlfriend helped too. Now, I thought it was fucked up that Jackie had to do, his character had to still go to jail for quite a while, even though, he helped the police do their fucking job, because they tried to get rid of him. I was just, what the fuck? That's fucked up, man. He went in there and they kidnapped and tried to kill his brother and killed some other dude, these crooks. And he restored the stolen property and shit because they stole the jewelry and shit. Oh, but whatever, this crime boss. And he went in there and fucked them all up with his buddies, and they're the ones who had to do time. I was like, that's fucking retarded. That's dumb. That's asinine. But whatever. Regardless, like with a lot of Sammo Hung movies, you don't get any action till the last 20 minutes of the fucking movie. I was pretty bored with most of the movie because it was more like a drama about some guy taking care of his mentally handicapped brother. They were doing all these crying scenes and blah blah blah. It's supposed to be really dramatized, and it was just dumb. I hated that part of the movie. You literally have to wait till the last 20 minutes to get any fucking action. At first I was thinking, man, I thought this was supposed to be an action flick, a kung fu flick. Well, you do get it. It's just, like I said, like every other Sammo Hung movie, last 20 minutes. Then you get all the action, and then the movie's over. So, if you're willing to go through all the BS to get to that part, hey, maybe you'll like this movie. The action was okay at the end, but like I said, most of the movie was not action. It was drama. I give it a thumbs up and a thumbs down. It was okay, at the end, but the rest of it sucked. So that's all I have for you this week. If you could think of any underrated or some other type of B movie I may never have heard of, or you think I don't know about, please leave your suggestions in the comment section down below, and I'll get to reviewing them as soon as I can. If you have any thoughts about what I talked about earlier in the video, then please leave your thoughts down in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear from you. So until next time, I told you to be told the truth, and you just been told.